The lights dimmed in the packed Chicago arena. A hush fell over the crowd. All eyes turned to the stage as President Joe Biden stepped into the spotlight. It was a night of high emotion at the Democratic National Convention. For Biden, it was a farewell address. This was his moment to reflect on his presidency. It was also his chance to rally support for his party's future. Biden, a seasoned politician known for his empathy, seemed to draw strength from the energy of the crowd. He spoke with a mix of pride and urgency. His voice, often described as reassuring, boomed through the arena. He began by taking the audience on a journey back to the turmoil that greeted his presidency. The COVID-19 pandemic had gripped the nation. The economy teetered on the brink. Political divisions ran deeper than ever. Biden, in his folksy yet determined style, reminded the crowd of the challenges they had faced together. He spoke of his administration's tireless work to combat the pandemic, provide economic relief, and restore America's standing on the world stage. Biden's voice swelled with emotion as he ticked off a list of his administration's achievements. The American Rescue Plan, passed in the early days of his presidency, had provided a lifeline to struggling families and businesses. The economy, once on life support, was now roaring back to life. Millions of Americans had received life-saving vaccines. He spoke about the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, a bipartisan victory that promised to rebuild America's crumbling roads and bridges. He touted his administration's historic investments in clean energy, efforts he argued would combat climate change and create countless new jobs. Biden's message was clear. Despite facing unprecedented challenges, his administration had delivered for the American people. But Biden's speech was more than just a victory lap. He acknowledged the very real sense of anxiety and uncertainty that many Americans were feeling. He spoke directly to those struggling to keep up with the rising cost of living, those grappling with healthcare costs, and those worried about the future of their children. The mood in the arena shifted as Biden turned to the 2024 election. He spoke with a newfound urgency, his voice ringing with a call to action. Democracy itself, he argued, was on the line. He warned of the forces of extremism and division that threatened to unravel the very fabric of American society. And then, with a twinkle in his eye and a broad smile, Biden introduced his vice president, Kamala Harris. The crowd erupted in cheers as Harris, the first female, first black and first Asian American vice president, took the stage. Biden's message was clear. Harris was more than just his running mate, she was the future of the Democratic Party. He spoke of her intelligence, her compassion, and her unwavering commitment to justice. He urged the crowd to rally behind her, to fight for the soul of the nation. The energy in the room was palpable. The passing of the torch was a symbolic moment. It was a recognition that the fight for a more just and equitable America would continue. Tears, cheers, and a shared hope. As Biden finished his speech, a wave of emotion swept through the arena. There were tears, there were cheers, and there was a shared sense of hope. Biden, visibly moved by the outpouring of support, lingered on stage for a moment. He shook hands, he hugged supporters, and he soaked in the applause. This was more than just a political rally. It was a celebration of Biden's long and storied career. It was a recognition of the sacrifices he had made, the battles he had fought, and the victories he had won. But it was also a farewell. Biden, the seasoned statesman, knew that his time in the political arena was coming to an end. He had given his all to his country. Now it was time for a new generation of leaders to take up the mantle. The unfinished battle for America's soul. As the crowd began to file out of the arena, Biden's words continued to hang in the air. His message was clear. The fight for democracy is never truly over. It is a battle that each generation must wage anew. He had reminded his audience of the power of hope. He had spoken of the importance of unity, of empathy, and of standing up for what is right, even when it is hard. His farewell address was a call to action, a reminder that the future of America is not predetermined. It is shaped by the choices that each and every citizen makes every single day.